Hello everyone, it's Benjamin once again. Today we'll be having some genetics problem, and this quite highly unprecedented because it's like a word problem where you have an essay or a story to tell, as you can see on the screen, and you're going to work it out. So that's very interesting. That's give intensive understanding of what genetics is all about. So I'm going to have two sessions for this video. We have two season 1 or section 1 and section 2. So by the end of these sessions, you will be able to tackle any problem relating to genetics. So I'm going to read out the problem, and I'm going to have some kind of solutions, trying to find solution to it. So I will read the problem as you have it on your screen. About 70% of Americans perceive a bitter taste from the chemical phenethylcarbamide, that's PTC. The ability to taste this chemical results from a dominant allele, that's T, capital T, and not being able to taste PTC is a result of having two recessive allele of small t. Albinoism is also a single locus trait with normal pigment being dominant as capital A, and the lack of pigment being recessive at small a. A normally pigmented woman who cannot taste PTC, I think that's the beginning of the question now. A normally pigmented woman who cannot taste PTC has a father who is an albino taster. She marries an homozygous normally pigmented man who is a taster, but who has a mother that does not taste PTC. What percentage of the children will be albinos? That's the first question. Then again, what percentage of the children will be non-taster of PTC? As you can see, this is an exclusive question that requires intensive understanding of genetics to tackle. So let's do justice to that. I actually made some highlight here of the important points, of the important keys in tackling this problem. So let's have it. Now you have the question again. But what we're going to see here is we have a normally pigmented woman who cannot taste PTC, has a father who is an albino taster. Those are the major points. She is normally pigmented, she cannot taste PTC, but has a father who is an albino but can taste PTC. So we're going to be drafting that out. She marries a homozygous normally pigmented man. That's another point. Homozygous normally pigmented man who is a taster. You can get that. A pigmented man that can taste PTC. But the mother of the man cannot taste PTC. So now that's where our application comes into play. So let's go back to our calculation. So I will be doing some stuff here. So we'll be going back and forth here. So she's actually, we have a normally pigmented man. What did we represent melanin pigmentation as? Capital A. So in genetics, if the woman was actually normally pigmented, that means she's either capital AA or this homozygous normally pigmented and heterozygous normally pigmented, but she is pigmented. But let's also note that the woman cannot taste PTC. So we represented the taste of PTC as T that you cannot taste, but if you could taste, it's going to be capital TT. So capital T can taste, small t cannot taste. However, we could also have heterozygous taster. That's that. So where we have capital T as dominant. So the genotype of the woman either falls under this category: homozygous taster, homozygous pigment, heterozygous pigment, but she cannot taste. So apparently she's homozygous recessive for T. So we don't have this. So this is going to be cancelled out because she cannot taste. So our genotype is going to fall between this, that's for the pigmentation, but this apparently what our genotype for the test is, because she cannot test the PTC. So we want to understand that she married, or she marries an homozygous normal pigmented man. So we have a genotype, but let's see what the actual genotype of the pigment of the woman is, because her father is albino. So if her father was albino, apparently this is going to be her genotype. So now I'm going to prove that to you now. Just note that. So we said our genotype is going to be capital A and a small a. It wasn't given, but that was what, because she has a father who is an albino. So how would you come by that? Her father is albino means has two homozygous recessive for lack of pigmentation, because albinism has to do with lack of pigmentation. And her mother could be this, because she's pigmented. So if her mother was A, of course her mother could be heterozygous pigment too. So if we have to cross match, we're going to have this, this, so we have all heterozygous pigment. That's for the woman. That's because we knew the genotype of the father, which is homozygous recessive for albinism, while the mother we had claimed will be either homozygous pigmented or heterozygous pigmented. We did not, nobody told us anything about the genotype of the mother. But let's take a look at the mother being heterozygous pigment. So the father, we have it because the father is albino. So if the mother was AA, let's see the mother of the woman. So if apparently the mother was heterozygous pigmented, definitely we're still going to have her because she's pigmented female. So we have the genotype now. So now we want to see her husband. So we have the genotype of the woman as heterozygous pigmented. That's with a recessive and a dominant, but the dominant dominates, the capital A dominates. So now she has a husband who is homozygous normal pigmented. So this is going to be the genotype of the husband. So we have heterozygous pigment female and an homozygous pigment male. So we're going to see what the genotype of the children will be as regards the pigmentation of the skin. So these are what we are cross-matching. So we have heterozygous. So let's start with the father. The husband is homozygous normal pigmented male, while the woman is heterozygous pigmented woman. So let's have it in clear terms now. So we're going to have this for the husband and this for the wife. So these are going to be the genotype of the children, because this and this, the capital A and the capital A here, the capital A and the small A. So we're going to have children who are 50% homozygous pigmented and 50% heterozygous pigmented. So we have normal children in skin. But now the question here is to see what percentage of the children will be albino. As you can see, we all have normal children. All of them are pigmented, although we have 50% homozygous pigmentation of the melanin, while 50% heterozygous pigmentation. So they are all normal. So we have 0% of the children are albino, because albino will only come when you have 2 recessive genes. So thank you for this. I'm going to answer the next question in our next episode. Bye for now.